Welcome to Chongqing North Railway Station. In today's video I want to show you what it's like to ride China's high-speed rail network. Buying a ticket as a foreigner is kinda tricky because online services and machines only work with Chinese ID cards, so you will have to buy your ticket at a counter. Oh, and don't expect any English here. Best to write down in advance what you need and show that to the staff. Your ticket will be linked to your passport, and when you enter the main hall, that passport is everything you need to show. There is also a security check, but usually it's very quick and you find yourself in the massive station halls in no time. In the station you will find hot and cold drinking water on the sides, but I rather opted for Starbucks before my ride. In China they only let you down to the actual platform a couple of minutes before departure, but half an hour later it was time to board. My transit visa restricted me from going too far, but at least it allowed me to do a ride on a local stretch between here and Chongqing and neighboring city Changshou. Now, China uses a wide range of different high-speed trains, but the train that would take me to Changshou was a CRH-3, a product that was originally based on the Siemens Velaro train. The Siemens Velaro train is used in many different countries with an own version for each. In Germany, they are called ICE-3. However, trains in China are much more densely packed. Today I was riding in what they call first class, which came in a 2-2 configuration.
Chief conductor and our crew members are pleased to serve you.
We left the station spot on time, which is usually always the case in China. That's partly also due to the big buffer times they include in the schedules. I personally never had a delayed train departure in China.
The next station is Changshou Bay. This is a smoke-free train. Thank you for your cooperation.
On the way to Changshou, the train passes some interesting scenery. There are really quite a lot of mountains and hills in this region, requiring a lot of bridges and tunnels for the tracks. I didn't know how fast we were, but I know that the tracks in this section are designed for up to 250 km an hour. Let's have a look around the inside. The color scheme really reminded me a lot of ICE trains in Germany, but there's one key difference. In Chinese trains, you will always find free hot water. That's quite useful on longer routes to make some cup noodles or similar. And trust me, these trains can go very long routes. But this ride was not so long, and after just 20 minutes we reached the outskirts of Changshou. And welcome to Changshou North Railway Station. When you get off the train, you cannot go into the main hall, but rather you have to exit the station through an underpass. I did not know anything about Changshou except that they had some sort of old-style street in the center. And actually, that one was quite beautiful and I spent a bit of time here. In the late afternoon, it was time for me to head back to the station to catch a train back to Chongqing. Chinese train stations essentially all look very similar, and this one was no exception, though it is smaller than it looks. I bought my ticket and then quickly went to the waiting area, which is rather limited as well. Not long after, the passengers were let onto the platform just before the train was about to arrive. Train number D3057 would take me back to Chongqing. It was operated by a CRH-1B train, which is the Bombardier Zefiro 250 model. One thing I liked about this platform was that it had markings on the ground showing you exactly where your coach would stop. After all, we're talking about a 16-car train. I had booked myself into second class this time, which comes in a 2-3 configuration and was completely full. This is one of the slower train categories, and this particular one is actually a long-range train. It comes from Shanghai and goes all the way to Chengdu. That journey takes between 14 and 15 hours. Nevertheless, as you could see just now, many people take trains across the country. The trains are reasonably priced in comparison to domestic flights in China, which can cost a fortune. And in fact, there are also standing tickets for the train, making the trip even cheaper. With those standing tickets, you don't have a reserved seat, but you are allowed to sit down on any empty seats. But imagine if there are no empty seats available and you have to stand for like 12 hours.
列车前方到站重庆北站。
Luckily, I had a seat reservation at a window, so I was able to enjoy the sunset view outside. As we rolled into Chongqing North Station, almost everyone got up and not many people remained on the train. When you exit the station, you have to show your ticket and passport again. The automatic gates do not work with foreign passports, so they have to check those manually. After taking a metro back to the hotel, I relaxed by the infinity pool for a bit. Then I was getting hungry, so I hit the nightlife of Chongqing. The streets had all filled up with people, and it was a very lively atmosphere. There were so many food options around, and my strategy was to just get something small here and there. But it was all so tasty I couldn't really stop. I was not brave enough to give those things a try though. Luckily, there were still many other options left to explore. These stalls where you choose things to be cooked and the barbecue stalls are always a good bet. That's it from Chongqing, and I promise the next video will be about a flight again. Until then, enjoy your travels.